You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, if you're Bomani Jones, well, number one, do you even still have a platform these days? I don't know. I don't know where he's working. He's not with ESPN. Maybe he's over at Meadowlark with Dan Lebitard and John Skipper. For all I know, who cares? But the one thing I do know is that, well, you've only got one ball in your bag to throw, and it's always got to do with race. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Do you ever actually talk anything of merit related to sports in itself? I don't get it. I don't understand it. But, so Shohei Ohtani is in the middle of this gambling scandal, right? And supposedly his interpreter were involved in some shady dealings, and he's Asian, in case you don't know. Now, what's weird is when I heard this story, when I listened to this story, not one time did it ever cross my mind to give Shohei Ohtani or his interpreter in any way, shape, form, or fashion a pass or even a thought in relation to his race. Now, I didn't give a rip that he was Asian. I didn't even think about it, to be honest with you. He's a ball player. He's a Major League Baseball player. He's a damn good ball player. But if you're Bomani Jones and you've only got one ball, you're going to throw it. And so he believes that Americans and MLB fans are giving Shohei Ohtani a pass because he's Asian. Wait, excuse me? What? Yeah. Bomani Jones always playing the hits. Is he not? Bomani Jones is not buying what Shohei Ohtani and his reps are selling. The longtime ESPN commentator and host of the Right Time podcast discussed the gambling debt scandal surrounding Ohtani's interpreter Ipe Mozuraha in his episode released Friday. So I guess he's still got a podcast. I don't know if it's still with ESPN. All I know is every show he ever got handed on ESPN or HBO got canceled because the ratings were terrible. Explaining while he believes MLB fans may be more likely to take Ohtani's story at face value because Americans' reverence for Asian people. God. Jones even wondered if Ohtani's reps were purposely taking advantage of fans' instincts to trust Ohtani as they handled the fallout. Quote, the only reason we're willing to entertain Ohtani's side of the story at all, it's about the way we think about Japanese people, Jones said. I mean, this is almost so ignorant. It's comical. It really is. Quote, in our largely xenophobic society, our Asian brothers and sisters are so different. They feel more like outsiders to people. In particular, Jones emphasized that Americans tend to see successful Asian people as more honorable or respectable than the average American celebrity. The Right Time host then wondered if those views may have even come from Hollywood myth-making. Wow. I mean, that's unbelievably dumb, but let's find out where he takes this. Quote, we tend to mythologize them in some interesting ways, Jones said. I think in large part because we've watched all these... we've watched them kung fu movies. We have a tendency to think of Asians as very solemn and very noble with a different strain of morality. I think that's how people view Asians in our society. Look, Asians are very well known for being very smart and hardworking. They bust their ass from a very young age, and they've got a great work ethic. Nothing's wrong with that. It's admirable. It is. You can say what you want to. Jones then reminded the audience that none of this really tracks. It's no more or less believable than Calvin Ridley could make a few online bets and be suspended by the NFL that it is Mozuraha would pile up $4+ million in gambling debt and ask Ohtani to help him pay it off. Quote, what I'm saying says nothing about what Asians actually are, because as far as I can tell, they are what they call people, Jones said, and people mess up and get caught in gambling or whatever it is. Still, Jones believes Ohtani's reps are aware of this dynamic and capitalizing on it. So they know that he believes that we know we hold these Asian people up with this mythical reverence. So Ohtani is getting a pass because he's Asian. Again, I followed this story and not one time did I even think about him being Asian or a Japanese player or any of that. Oh shit, Major League Baseball player involved with gambling. That's the only, literally, that's the headline. That's the headline. Notice I didn't say Asian ball player, Japanese ball player, black ball player, white ball player, Latino ball player, none of that. Ball player. Man, this guy, literally, he wakes up in the morning. He's waking up out of bed like, no, I'm black. I mean, that is him waking up every morning. He cannot get past anything that's got to do with race. That's his only shtick. That's his path to, I would say, success, but the ignorance that they are trying to play right now, you can only think that it works if you think these silly Americans are going to believe it, Jones said. So now he's calling this ignorant. Gotcha. As usual, Jones is being partly provocative to prove a point, but it's not unreasonable to see coverage of Ohtani since he got to the U.S. and during this scandal so far as unique. The reason it's unique probably does not boil down to one factor, but views of the two-way baseball sensation as untouchable, larger-than-life figures certainly could stem from cultural differences in perceptions. Should be noted, awful announcing, well, they're woke as hell. I'm just pointing that out. To give you an idea, they hate Aaron Rodgers' guts because of his views of the vaccine. Oh, boy. Wow. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Number one, I think the most surprising part of all this is that Bomani Jones has still got an outlet and or a show. I didn't even know. I guess he's still with ESPN somehow, some way, in some form. I just know that I don't think they let him on TV anymore because it's the surefire way to see your ratings torpedo into the abyss, down the toilet. He is a two-legged walking ratings killer. And it's because, well, if the only thing you can talk about and relate sports back to is the color of somebody's skin, people aren't going to listen to you very long, and they're going to reach up and turn you off. What a dumb, ignorant statement to make. We're giving him a pass because he's Asian. All right. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.